What's up, gang? It's Chris Angel coming at you for another episode of Marketing for the Rest of Us. That's right. This show is dedicated to those of us who don't want to chase algorithms, and we just want to make an impact in the world with real humans, not robots and math equations. So today we're talking about asking for help, right? Asking for help sooner. And if you saw my text post this morning, then you know sort of my story. And I'll just tell you, I think a lot of us have a hard time asking for help. I don't think, and for a lot of reasons. I'm gonna break that down why that is. But I remember in my 20s, I loved to learn, right? I loved figuring things out. And so in my 20s, I didn't ask for help because I didn't want your help. I wanted to go figure it out myself. And then in my 30s, I didn't ask for help because I was embarrassed to not know the answer. I mean, the reality is when you read a lot of books and you study and you learn a lot of things, you have the curse of knowledge. And to let people in that you actually don't know becomes embarrassing, right? So here's where I think we get stuck, right? I'm just going to walk you through these 4 places that I think we get stuck. I think it starts with not asking for help because we don't think we need it, frankly. And I think that's a young thing. It happens early in life. But there are plenty of 40, 50, maybe 60, I don't know, old people that also don't think they need help. Right? Because their ego's in the way. From this place of not thinking that we need help, we go through life and we have things that we want to get to, right? Where we are here, we want to get to there. And so we find other ways, because we're not willing to ask for help, we find other ways to get answers, right? And in that process of trying to get answers, like I said, we all end up with this curse of knowledge, and heaven forbid that we let people in that we don't know. So then we don't ask for help after that because we're embarrassed. We're afraid that people will find us out as somebody who doesn't know all that they think we should know. And then from there, what happens is we go down life and we have it all, well, we present that we have it all figured out. We're embarrassed to ask for help. And then what happens is, because we bought so many courses and read so many books and tried so many things to get answers, now we feel like it's all BS. Now, you've seen so many Facebook ads in your news feed now, and you've attended so many webinars now, and some of those things you've even purchased, you bought, and they didn't have the answer that you were looking for, or it didn't work. And so now you don't trust people who offer help, right? So people come along every day that could actually help you, and you don't trust the offer. You don't trust their offer of help. That was my story. It's still my story in some ways, right? And there is a balance in there, right? Your BS meter, it needs to be intact, and your BS meter may need to be tuned up. Because there is a lot of BS, but you also can't just cut it all off. You need the fastest path, as you'll see here in a second, to your growth is to actually ask for help from the right people. Okay. All right. So as you've invested in things and now you don't trust people, the last place we get to then is we actually then aren't willing to pay for any help. We become cheap and we call it frugal, but really what it is we're cheap. And it's because we've been burned so many times. We bought so many courses, we did all the stuff. And now I'm not willing to invest in help. The very help you probably need, you won't pull the trigger when it comes to help you. So can you see the doom loop that leaves us in, right? Like in life, you're not willing to ask for help because you don't need it. You're embarrassed to ask for it. You don't trust those who offer it. And you can't afford it, or you say you can't afford it, or you won't afford it, right? But here's what's possible, gang. On the other side of that, if you really want to move from here to there, and I think that's part of the human condition, is we are hardwired to grow. We're hardwired to expand. If you're really going to grow, then you're going to realize that the fastest path to growth is to ask for help. So here's what's possible. The paradigm shift that you need is to realize, number one, that of course I ask for help. Of course I ask for help because you see it as a gift. Not only is it a gift, but you also have enough experience in life to realize that when you ask for help are the seasons when you've had the most growth. Look, you don't even have to have mastered this yet. You can actually, in this moment where you're stuck in the doom loop, you could actually in this moment look and see that the seasons in life where you actually asked for help were some of the biggest seasons of growth for you, okay? So then from there, here's the next piece. You not only do you see asking for help as a gift and the fastest path to growth, but that makes you eager to seek it. You go out and out of your way actually to find it. When you're alone, when you feel alone and like you're hiding and you don't want to ask for help and you're embarrassed to ask for help, you don't seek help. You don't seek help, you hide from help because you don't want to be exposed. But when you see it as a gift, now you actually go out and search for it. Okay. From there, you now learn what to trust, right? The next piece is as you know yourself, and you guys are going to want to drop down in the comments and click the link for the audio. There's a audio that's under 5 minutes there that you can actually listen to where I go through the principles, right? The mindsets that help you move from stuck to, right, unstuck. But part of that, right, is realizing that when you're clear about who you are and clear about where you want to go, you actually now can better determine who to trust. If you don't know who you are and you don't know where you want to go specifically, then what happens is you end up buying a lot of things from people who said they could help you, but it didn't help you because it's not their fault, actually. It's your fault because you weren't clear about who you are and where you want to go. So you were, in the name of trying to get somewhere, in the name of trying to make money, and right, all of that, you bought stuff that didn't work, and now you just don't trust people. But the flip side of that is that you actually get really clear about who you are, where you want to go, and that becomes the filter for who to trust. See, when you know where you want to go and who you are, your BS meter actually serves you. You go, oh yeah, no, this guy's full of crap. This guy though, this guy gets me. He gets me because he gets where I want to go. He sounds like me. He's had the same experience as me. I'm going to go draft on their coattails for a while and learn everything I can from them. Which then leads to the fourth possibility here, right? The fourth paradigm shift, which is that you actually then, in that space, pay handsomely. You pay handsomely for advice because you realize that those people who know you and know how to get you to where you want to go, that is your fastest path to your promised land. Again, every season in life where I had the quantum leaps of my life have come from paying for access to people who could tell me how to get there. A lot of people, in the name of being frugal, right, or in the name of not trusting people, they'll ask for help, but they ask for help from their friends, they ask for help from their uncles, they ask for help from their mastermind group, they ask for help, and it doesn't actually give them the full course meal, it gives them little tidbits here and there. It doesn't actually solve the problem, is my point, right? But when you go all in and you pay handsomely for people who can get you to where you want to go, then you actually get to where you want to go faster. And that, my friends, is the journey of moving from not asking for help and what's possible on the other side if you did ask for help. Again, drop down in the comments in a second here. Right after this live is done, I will paste the link to the audio where I actually walk you through the 4 principles you need, the 4 mindsets you need to make that paradigm shift from stuck, not asking for help and not trusting people, to how do we actually get to our goals faster by leaning into the people who could actually help us. So with that, thanks for joining me today for this episode of Marketing for the Rest of Us. I will catch you tomorrow for another episode of Marketing for the Rest of Us. Until then, drop down below and listen to the 4 principles that move you from stuck to unstuck.